commentary team tonight. Gordon Smith joined by Rob Hawthorne. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Welcome to Rugby Park. These ex-professionals are always going on about how there's nothing like playing, but in conditions like this, Gordon, I think you'd rather be up here tonight, wouldn't you?
Well, it's safer up here, but you can't beat it. I mean, the surface is very, very good, Rob, and I think that makes a big difference. I think if you went out here and it was a wet, windy night and it was a bad pitch, you probably wouldn't want to play in it. But if you look at this playing surface, it's magnificent. Right down through years, even my day playing here is, you know, quite some time ago now, it's always one of the best playing surfaces in the country.
Indeed, the rain might complement the surface. It's just the blustery conditions that might cause a little bit of concern to players on both sides. The swirling wind.
Yeah, the wind's the worst condition. I mean, we can talk about the rain and any other underfoot conditions, maybe a little bit wet, but it's the wind that affects players. The ones who like to get the ball down and make the passes are the most affected by it. And imagine that Ray Wilkins, you know, will not look forward to the game too much in that respect because he likes to play long balls. But what you'll find tonight, you're probably trying to keep everything short and try and keep possession and keep the ball, basically keep the game underneath that swirling wind.
Well, last night was Halloween, but the masks are still in force today. I wonder if that's just protection against the wet weather.
At least he's not got his chainsaw with him tonight, which is maybe it was confiscated at the gate.
Well, all credit to the administrators here at Rugby Park, because they've reduced admission prices and they've let a few of the school kids in free of charge to try and harness a new breed of support and to encourage people to come out in not the best weather.
Yeah, they worked very hard at Kilmarnock over the years to try and get a community spirit, and for quite some time it was going really well. I mean, they have open days here at the beginning of the season and sometimes get 13,000 people along at them. But the reason that the crowds have been down recently is basically because the team hasn't been doing too well. I mean, one home win doesn't exactly foster a lot of confidence in the players. So what happens is the fans begin to stay away. They've not got a lot of season ticket holders, so if the team starts to win games and starts to get the points under the belt, they'll come back because the core support is reasonably big.
And the other good thing is that times might be lean in terms of success on the field, but they've given them a home to be proud of here. Rugby Park is an all-seater ground, very accommodating to the visitors, even if the conditions are against them tonight, and won't even let them raise their flags in peace. But the ground was refurbished over a 10-month period at a cost of £3.6 million. Ray Wilkins just filing through for Hibernian, really enjoying his spell on month-to-month contracts and joining his colleagues. Down that narrow tunnel they've come. Darren Jackson in the Hibs team this evening, having just been named in the Scottish squad for the match against Sweden. And here come Hibs opponents this evening. Kilmarnock at the back, Paul Wright preparing to come out and play against his former club. And as the two teams take to the field, let's have a look at the team news. And Kilmarnock's Yugoslav goalkeeper Dragoj Lekovic pays the price for their defeat in the last match against Dunfermline and makes way for the highly rated Scottish under-21 international Colin Meldrum. It's his first appearance of the season. Defender Kevin McGowan is out with a neck injury. Derek Anderson is his replacement, and Colin McKee, who missed the last game because of a family bereavement, returns in place of Ali Mitchell, who has a shin injury.
Yeah, I think they'll miss McGowan tonight. They already got Whitworth out sort of long term. He's been injured as well. The young player they got from Manchester United, but you know, you've got McGowan out as well, who came to the club recently, who's been playing well. So although these players, Montgomery and Anderson, have both played there for a while, Montgomery is a very experienced campaigner. It's not the central defensive pairing that Alec Totten would have liked.
It's no surprise that, like Kilmarnock, Hibs have changed their goalkeeper. Jim Leighton is back after suspension following his sending off against Motherwell. John Hughes, signed yesterday from Celtic to bolster the defence, makes his debut for the team that he's watched and supported. And with Andy Dow coming in as well on the left, Ian Cameron and Kevin McAllister are the players left out after the defeat by Celtic.
Yeah, it's a strong lineup in terms of experience. Hughes coming in from Celtic, having played there the last couple of seasons, We think McGinley will probably play at the back. He performed there in the last match, but it's a fluent system. McGinley can move into midfield if required. They can go a square back four if they have to. And with likes of Darren Jackson up front and Harper, they're always going to be a danger. Very, very quick players. And with the promptings of Wilkins, they could be good players and dangerous for Kilmarnock tonight.
And the referee is Willie Young. He came out to take a look at the surface beforehand, was very impressed with the pitch. And we're immediately going to see Harper and Jackson in action because they get the game underway for Hibs. And even though it's a change of team for John Hughes, no change in club colours, with Hibs in green and white and Kilmarnock in their first choice strip of the blue and white stripes. Touch from Jackson carrying the ball out. Kilmarnock with only 2 victories to their credit this season. The first one was against Hibernian at Easter Road in the opening match. And the other one was here, their only victory at home against the bottom club Wright. McKee trying to get involved early, and Willie Miller, who wears 2 but plays at left back, is pulled back by McKee.
I don't think there was any doubt that was a foul there from McKee and getting a hold of Willie Miller's shots, and the Kilmarnock fans not happy with it, but it was a correct decision.
So I think Miller would have been too happy when these shots come off his back.
Not in a night like this, Rob.
Here's Jackson. Well, he lined one up early. Harper had made a move into the penalty area. Well, if anything, the swirling wind seems to be picking up pace, and it is going to make life very hazardous for both sets of players. Ball turned away to Donald. Anderson. Derek Anderson was actually part of the Kilmarnock defence when they beat Hibs at Easter Road on the opening day of the season. Here's MacPherson. Well, he had Leighton at full stretch, did Gus MacPherson.
That's got to be a good idea in a night like this, Rob. Picking the ball up from distance. MacPherson strikes a good ball, and you're always going to get a skid off the surface as well. And it's going to be difficult for goalkeepers to deal with that. The ball's going to pick up that extra pace, and with the wind behind you as well, it can make all the difference. So you might see 1 or 2 players decide to do that. We've already seen Dan Jackson have a go from Hibs, although it was blocked, but that's the nearest we've been to a shot on target.
So plenty of ambitious, speculative efforts on the menu tonight if the opening couple of minutes are anything to go by. Hughes immediately coming under pressure. Hughes giving it away to Findlay. Here's MacPherson again. Well, he's shown great positive intent at the start. This is McKee, he's had plenty of involvement too. Free kick given this time against Miller. But they've had a good couple of early tangles. It's going to be a good contest, that. McKee against Miller. Here's Wright. Well, he'd worked his way through. The challenge that dispossessed him a fair one from doubt. And really judging the passes is another real problem on a night like this.
That's a big difficulty. Once you start to go over 20 yards with the pass, then the wind is obviously going to play a part. Once it's in the air, even more of a part. And you know, the pitch it looks as if it's a bit thick on top as well with the grass. It doesn't look as if it's very short, and that's going to hold the ball up okay if it's at feet. So you may think it's a better idea if the teams play it short and try and work their way through the opposition.
Darren Dodds. And Montgomery having to be careful against the pace of Harper and not really taking any risks. This is Dow. Jackson turning into a useful position, and Millen had got into the box too.
Very experienced player there, knocked the ball right into the back post. It's a good ball in and just knocked away there. And it was a good effort, because a cross ball tonight is going to give the goalkeeper problems to whether to come or not, or stay in his line.
And the problem provided by Dow from the corner, and it whipped right across. Donald's head seemed to be closest to it, but it didn't quite graze the top of the defender. Dow it was who caused the problem with the corner. Jockey Scott, the caretaker manager of Hibs, has until Christmas to prove that he's a viable candidate to succeed Alec Miller on a permanent basis. Challenge on Wright. Jackson. Again, they're looking to feed it through to Harper. Montgomery, who's been such a solid and reliable servant for Kilmarnock. A grip at the heart of the defence. This is Brown. And they're looking to release Wilkins. Good tracking back there by Henry. Well, after that opening day victory at Easter Road for Kilmarnock, they were actually top of the table, but they've slid pretty dramatically since. Indeed, their manager Alex Totten said at the end of that game, if only it was May now. But he knew he was in for a hard season of battling for survival in the Premier League, and sure enough, that's how it's turning out. But it's so important in a position that Kilmarnock find themselves in to win their home games. This is the first of two that they've got in succession, and they're desperate to claim maximum points from this one tonight. Henry's touch. This is Harper. And Dow flinging it forward first time, looking for Jackson. Header away was by Anderson. And again, Derek Anderson. Well, it was a risk for Findlay to let that one go, but Anderson has tidied it up. McKee. And now Dylan Kerr. And then slip it into Wright. Now looking to unleash Kevin Harper.
They're looking to do it all the time. Hibs, as soon as they're getting the ball, whether it's at the back or in midfield, are looking to play balls over the top. The full-backs for Kilmarnock are being drawn forward because they're trying to get up to support the wide men, and there's always space down the flanks, and that's what Hibs are trying to release their quick strikers.
Harper and Dodds, both named in the Scottish under-21 squad for the match against Sweden the day before the full international. There's Alex Totten, the Kilmarnock manager. Inevitably, when a side is struggling, the manager's job is also under pressure, but he always faced a tough task coming in to replace Tommy Burns. There's Anderson. Kerr, who's been playing on month-to-month contracts since joining from Reading.
think he'll be very concerned about having a good game tonight, Rob, because this is his last game, and that decision will be made after it. So, you know, unless barring an absolute nightmare, he should get a contract from Kilmarnock, but you never know what can happen.
Here's Miller. And the clearance by Findlay. Dodd sliding in. Didn't look the most convincing challenge in the first place, but he recovered his ground well.
Did well. Look, Tom Brown is one of these strikers that likes to tackle even the biggest of defenders. He's not a soft player by any means, and he'll mix it as much and give as much as he gets.
Findlay. And this is Kerr. Challenge was by Andy Millen. Millen actually swapped places with Billy Findlay, and the pair exchanged these two clubs in a swap deal. McIntyre looking for the support of Kerr. It was cut out by Millen.
He also looked out wide in the right for McKee, and McKee was so far wide to try and give Kilmarnock that width that the pass wasn't on. It's one of the problems that Killie have at times. They try to get that width, but you know, when they're looking for the pass, it's not there.
Well, as we've seen, there's been rare movement in the attacking areas, but Leighton there called upon to show a little bit of alertness.
He makes the odd mistake, Jim Leighton, but this is where he's very good. Just being on the edge of the box there, just playing it almost like an auxiliary sweeper, just to pick it up if the ball's not beyond these back players.
I didn't think there was a great deal of doubt that Leighton would make his return after serving that suspension, coming in to replace Chris Reid. Reid, though, is among the substitutes tonight. And probably on a night like this, it's not a bad idea to have a goalkeeper on the bench, even though Kilmarnock have opted against that. It's Montgomery's clearance, and this is Hughes to Wilkins. This intelligent ball to McGinley. Just when it seemed to be opening up for McGinley, the ball for Jackson fell short. But Wilkins dropping into cover in defence, proving himself flexible. Still covering in that area, waiting for McGinley to get back, as he has done now. Well, that sold McGinley very short, and Wright was appealing that he actually touched it while he was on the ground. Awkward little moment for McGinley. And this is a bit of a testing passage for Hibs. Harper. And McIntyre is the player tracking back. This is Kerr. It's so awkward to be tidy. This is Jackson. And Millen. Anderson had to time the challenge just right, as indeed did Kerr. Just inside the area.
Yeah, Kerr taking a bit of a chance there. It was nice footwork to begin with, but when really you're a defender, you know, you're probably the heart in the mouth of Alec Totten there, wondering what's going to happen as his defender's trying to dribble on the edge of his own box, because he loses it. You know, he was getting 3 against 2 in favour of Hibs, but come on, the ball to get it away.
Wilkins. Hughes unleashed it, and it was headed back by Jackson, but Montgomery, the covering player, longest serving player on the Kilmarnock staff. He's just moved into the top 20 in the appearance records for the club. Made his 250th league appearance in the last game. Ray Montgomery.
Been a great servant to them. I mean, he's a wholehearted player. He's right like Hughes in a lot of ways, who's playing for Hibs tonight. He gives everything, and he never shucks any tackle or never gives his all in any game, and he's a big favourite with the supporters. Wilkins. He's shown some
Nice touches already as Ray Wilkins has already proved his value in Hibs colours. Miller looking to work it through Wilkins again. Always provides the outlet. Unable to keep that one in play. Here's Willie Miller.
So tidy, Ray Wilkins. You get a surprise when he actually makes a bad pass. But he's in that middle of the field there. He's controlling everything. A bit of a fulcrum in there and just everything going through him. And we noticed already, Robbie, he switched places very quickly with McGinley. When McGinley broke forward, the way the contenders would do, the sweeper goes forward and he can fill in that position at the back.
Well, a long ball from Anderson was a wasted ball as far as Kilmarnock were concerned. And Wilkins still going strong at the age of 40. The only question mark against him, of course, is whether he lasts the pace. And in 3 of his previous 7 appearances, he has come off before the end. But no question that he's doing the job that they brought him in to do. Here's John Henry. And Brown. Here's MacPherson. So Kilmarnock's best effort of the game so far, but that one was overhit for Brown. Covered by McGinley. No strike from McKee. Nice touch, chance for Henry! And John Henry has done it again. He scored at Easter Road on the opening day of the season, and he's put the ball in the back of Hibs' net yet again as the home team take the lead.
Well, it's been a slow start to the game in terms of chance making, but this is a magnificent goal. It was a shot really from McKee. Wright came off. Look at the little back heel between the 2 players. Henry, as usual, sniffs into the box there and slams it in his left foot. Fantastic effort there. Wright did ever so well. Great vision in order to know where Henry was going to be. Henry with his left foot just simply slams it in the top of the net. A fantastic finish, really, and the game needed that. There's been very, very few chances created in terms of scoring efforts at all. Hardly anything about the goal mouse, and that's opened the game up. A great start for Kilmarnock.
2 goals this season then for John Henry, and 2 goals against Hibernia. And a great injection of confidence among the supporters. It had been a fairly lacklustre start, that ambitious effort from MacPherson prior to Henry's strike, the only real attempt to cause any concern for Jim Leighton, but Leighton didn't really have a prayer with the execution that Henry put into that goal.
No, it's a superb finish. He's got something of a reputation, John Henry, for scoring goals there, getting in the box. He comes in late, he does that job very well, and you need a striker with awareness like Wright showed there in order to find those sort of runs. I mean, he was actually behind him. I think you'd find very few players in the game who could have made that pass, but it was tremendous, just a little back heel into his path. But the finish had to be there, and that's what Henry gave it.
MacPherson. Well, you like to talk about great vision among strikers, but unless Wright's got eyes in the back of his head, you'd have to talk about awareness of his fellow strikers' positioning there. Here's Henry again. Findlay looking to feed McKee. Miller sticking to him well, but McKee giving him the runaround. Henry's in the box again and wants it, so too did Brown. And Hibs really look rattled by conceding that goal. Kilmarnock visibly lifted. Anderson, though, has run into trouble. Dowd made good progress, but it's Kilmarnock breaking again with a goal scorer. McGinley cleaning up that time. Here's McIntyre. Well, he completely misread Paul Wright's intentions. Wright pulled to the right, and he put it to the left. Jackson. This is Dow. Harper. Pushed wide by Millen. The low cross from Donald. And the shot is in by Harper. A real goal out of nothing. Kilmarnock must have thought that they'd tidied that one up, but suddenly from nowhere, Harper speculatively stuck his boot out, and they've equalised.
Well, it's poor defending really, because Killie looked to clear the lines there, get the ball away, but Harper just a little nudge forward. He took it really well as it came down. He only had to do was help it on its way. Not an easy one to take, but he just flicked out his left foot and turned it on towards goal, and left young Meldrum absolutely helpless. It's all of a sudden we're getting 2 goals in the space of a few minutes, when really there was nothing being created before that.
Well, Harper had previously scored in a match at Motherwell that proved to be a 1-1 draw, and he's made the score 1-1 here at Rugby Park now. But really it was a soft goal for Kilmarnock to give away after all their efforts in establishing the lead.
It was. It looked at a bit of confidence as if it was spreading through the Kilmarnock team after that goal. It lifted the crowd, and they really should have held on to it for a bit longer. That's been Kilmarnock's problems really, even at times they've taken the lead. We saw them even here 1-0 up against Rangers early in the season with about 25 minutes to go, and ended up losing 4-1. So they've never had the ability to hold on to a lead really.
Andy Millen has been booked for that last challenge, which has produced his free kick. Wright. And it really is back to square one again for Kilmarnock now, after such an eye-catching first goal. Alex Tottenham will be absolutely furious. Well, I'm sure his opposite number, Jockey Scott, delighted at his side's comeback, unexpected as it was. The game certainly wasn't going in their favour. McKee. Here's Wright. Heavily weighted by McKee, but Henry able to keep it in. Anderson. Brown had hoped to pull away.
Hibs are defending fairly deep, but surprised. I think maybe they're trying to draw Kilmarnock as far up the field as they can because of the pace they have up front. But it hasn't really worked for them so far. They've been taking a lot of pressure on the edge of the box. Although, to be fair, Kilmarnock have only created one decent chance, apart from MacPherson's shot earlier in the game, and they scored from it though. But they're asking for a bit of trouble to allow Kilmarnock so much pressure on the edge of their own box.
Here's Jim McIntyre. McKee. Running into John Hughes. McIntyre. Made room well! Oh, that's a fine goal! A great way to score his first of the season, and Kilmarnock are ahead again.
Oh, another super goal to add to the collection of this game. Not much happening again. As I said, look at the Hibs defending so deep there. Look at where they are. Only one player challenging. I think the wind helped a lot with that goal, but it was a fine effort. Taking the ball onto his good side. We've seen very little of McIntyre in this match so far, but he is capable of that. always looking to go onto his left foot there. He turns inside, given the space, and there's a bit of curl on it, but I think the wind adds to it. That swirling wind just took it away from Jim Leighton's despairing dive, but excellent goal nevertheless.
It's taken 12 games of the season for Jim McIntyre to open his account, but he's done it, and in some style. Well, they had 3 goals in an 8-minute spell in the previous meeting at the start of the season, and the goals have been rattled in quick succession in this one. McIntyre's a splendid finish, helped no doubt by the conditions. And Wright, well, he thought he saw an opening there for Brown, but the flag was up for offside, hotly disputed.
Yeah, they're always hotly disputed decisions here. Well, I'm not sure he was, though. I thought he'd maybe just timed it perfectly to be in there. But I'm just thinking about the average of the match so far. 4 shots on goal, or 4, and 3 of them on target, 3 of them in the net. It's not a bad average for a match.
McIntyre with his goal certainly made best use of the conditions as it swerved away from Leighton's outstretched palms.
It shows the value, Rob, of having a potted goal, really, when the chance is on. Anything can happen in these sort of conditions. It is slippy underfoot, but there's all that swirling wind that's going to take your shot and make it swerve more than it would normally would.
I saw that one from Jackson early in the game, which didn't get as far as the goal. That was blocked by a defender. There was no way that they could cut out McIntyre's. Millen dwelling on the ball. This is McKee. Wright. Nice play. McIntyre's cross. Brown went for it, so too did McKee. The way the strikers link up has been very impressive for Kilmarnock. Wright and McIntyre have been doing some excellent work.
Well, Alec Totten will be sitting hoping that the fact that what the strikers are doing, that his defenders do some work this time, because what they really want to do is hold on to this lead a little bit longer, build the confidence from it, get themselves going in the game. They lost that the equaliser far too early from their point of view. But Hibs, the very same token, Jockey Scott will want to try and break back quickly, but they're not really doing enough going forward, I don't think, Hibs at this time. Maybe up against a strong wind, we'll see when the second half comes how strong that wind is, but they look as if they're under a lot of pressure at the moment, Hibs.
Findlay. At the moment, Kilmarnock don't seem to be making the same mistakes they made after establishing the lead last time. They're still making the Hibs defence do all the work. Wilkins is trying to change all that. Montgomery, though, strong enough to hold off Harper. Could be an opening for McGinley. It's charged down by Kerr. McGinley again. It was a very purposeful run forward he made previously before being forced into reverse. But look just how accurate the strike rate has been. 2 of Kilmarnock's 3 attempts on target to produce goals.
Well, I think that would encourage me to have more shots at goal if I was playing tonight, because with that sort of average, you know, if you get 10 shots in, you're maybe looking at about 7 goals. So let's hope that it's going to work out that way.
Maybe you should give the half-time team talk. We could have an interesting second half. Right, just taking a blow to the face. All credit to both sets of players in difficult conditions, making the best of it. Miller. Wright. Trying to feed it through to McKee, and Miller slid in. Well, there was hesitation before the assistant referee decided to award the goal kick.
It was almost a very good ball there. Wright just sliding it in behind Willie Miller, and McKee was on his way. I think he should have got the corner, really. I think that Willie Miller got the last touch there.
Well, Anderson's header back causing real problems for Meldrum. It's Jackson. Harper's waiting in the middle. The goalkeeper sticking to the task. It's Dow! And it's in! And the young goalkeeper got himself in all sorts of trouble. Dow says thank you very much.
Young keeper misjudged it. It was a long ball. We saw the pace of Jackson. Hibs have tried it all day. They've never really got through, and Jackson there getting before the keeper. The keeper was caught no man's land. Dan Jackson did really well. He actually ended up beating Meldrum twice there, laid it back. But this is precision. Look at that. It must have been judged the exact height of the player on the line and beat him by about 3 inches. It was a lovely chip ball. Nice shot on goal, and you know, Hibs have done it again. They've come back very, very quickly, and Alec Totten must be raging, but all credit to Hibs for fighting back. But there's the problem caused by the pace of Jackson over the top. They've tried that ball, as I mentioned before, in few previous occasions. It hasn't come off, but that time it was precise.
Same disease has struck Kilmarnock yet again. Second time that the lead they've established has been wiped out, and they put themselves under a lot of pressure. It was a backheader initially from Anderson that caught the goalkeeper in 2 minds. And it was a bold move out of the penalty area, or towards the edge of his own penalty area by Meldrum, that ultimately proved folly. Kerr, who was actually on the line for that chip goal from Dow, but wasn't prepared to risk his own future in the match by sticking up his hands for it. And the ball turned away by McGinley.
I'm sure it crossed his mind, because that have always chipped in. He must have thought, do I put my hands up here and stop this and go off the field, and they might still score the penalty.
Yeah, it's always a tricky dilemma for a professional. With the ball in his hands now. This is Brown. McGinley. Hughes. 2 long for Harper. McKee. Right in the box calling for it, goes long instead towards McIntyre. He had joined Wright in the box, but that was too long for him. But yet again, I think there'll be defensive inquest at half-time after Meldrum's performance for the goal that has again brought Hibs level.
Yeah, he's one of the top young keepers in the country, but I don't think that's inexperience. I think he's just misjudged the bounce of the ball, the roll of the ball. But look at this effort here, that's tremendous. I think Kerr's about 5'8", and that's a 5'10" chip.
Yeah, superb accuracy. Poor old Meldrum, who's been named in the Scottish under-21 squad for the match against Sweden, to be beaten in those sort of circumstances. Oh, now Anderson in trouble. Jackson's left him for dead, and this time Meldrum atones.
Did well that time, he stood up to it. I thought Dan Jackson was in there and was going to finish, but Meldrum will be very, very happy to atone himself, atone for his mistake right away. A little nudge from Jackson and Anderson. Anderson got caught wrong side there. Look how he just stood up until the shot was made. That was very good goalkeeping.
Yes, he's earned himself a few plus points from this. After the previous negative, Meldrum doing some good work there. Almost a banker that Hibs were going to be taking the lead for the first time in this match, but Meldrum stood between Jackson and the third goal. Wilkins with a free kick. Hughes. Free kick given against Aaron Dodds. One from McGinley. Montgomery with a clearance. Here's Henry. Straight into Dow. Well, they're worth trying, but Anderson this time kept his eye on the ball, but it's Harper putting them under more pressure. Don't forget, more football coming up for you on Sky Sports this weekend. On Sky Sports 3, our next offering from the Nationwide League is Grimsby against Sheffield United. The coverage in Football League Live starting at 12 noon. And then immediately after, on Super Sunday from 3 p.m. on Sky Sports 1, it's Newcastle against Middlesbrough. And another date for your diary on November the 9th, boxing fans, Mike Tyson against Evander Holyfield, one of 3 world heavyweight title fights on Sky Box Office. For details on that special pay-per-view event, call 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Plenty of blows struck already in this game, but it's an even contest. 2 goals apiece. We've had 2 exquisite finishes from Kilmarnock. And Hibs have immediately struck back and capitalising on defensive lethargy. Could play this. McKee looking to aim that one in. Oh, what a great effort from Paul Wright. That would have been another spectacular goal.
Superb football as well all the way. Ball slipped into McKee. McKee's had a good game on the right-hand side. That's a great ball played in, just over the head of Ray Wilkins. Super volley, and it did take a little deflection. Very unlucky. That goal would have graced this game, no problem at all, with the sort of level of goals and quality we've seen so far.
It was a crucial deflection as it turned out. Brown going in. Just skidded away off Brown, I thought, but the referee in fact has seen a Hibs touch last and given another corner. Very congested in there, in front of the goalkeeper. See, so even. It's even on corners too. Get up! Kerr with the throw. This is McKee. this one back instead. It's Anderson. This is McIntyre. Wright was waiting for it, but Hughes effectively in the way. Cool play that by Andy Down.
I think overall Kilmarnock have played the better football. I feel that any football when the ball's been on the ground that's been knocked about, it's been Kilmarnock generally has been doing it. Hibs still are trying to play the long ball game for the most part. Maybe it is the conditions that's forcing that, and because they have two such quick players up front, they have a little bit of a joy when you consider the goal and the chance that Jackson had as well. But Killie have at all times tried to play the ball.
Opens to Harper. This is Findlay. One of the reasons why Alex Houghton was so pleased that the TV cameras were here tonight was to bring his side's quality of football to a wider audience. I clearly feel that the results they've had this season don't really reflect the sort of stylish football that they've tried to play. And we've seen evidence of that in bursts from Kilmarnock this evening. There's Anderson. McKee. And here's Billy Findlay. Running right into trouble with Dow. Henry. McKee. Being a bit more patient now.
Yeah, they're having to be. Hibs have got everyone at this stage behind the ball. But Killie aren't forcing it. The main thing is that they're keeping possession. They're not going anywhere at this stage, but Hibs haven't been getting the ball off them.
Hughes just holding them up temporarily. Tom Brown, the player, flawed. Has ridden the challenge well, and he's won the latest corner.
Well, I mean, it broke down a little bit by getting the throw in, but Killie kept possession for quite a long time there, and then it eventually resulted in getting the corner. They have worked their way up the field. It was a good spell. All encouragement to see teams playing like that, even in conditions that are very, very poor, to try and play football on the ground.
Life could again be uncomfortable in that 6-yard box. It's another awkward one for Jim Leighton. Didn't really get the cleanest contact with it, but Brown trying to curl it in, just got too much on it. Leighton, for a moment there, looked to be struggling.
Yeah, it's not his strong suit, Jim Leighton, to be honest with you. The ball's in there like that. He's definitely better at saving shots coming into him. Very, very agile keeper, but didn't get the best of punches on it, although he did enough to knock it away from Anderson. Brown really would have been better just like knocking a little soft ball into the box, keeping the pressure on. I'm not really sure whether that was a shot come across.
John Hughes, who left Celtic Park with a glowing tribute from Tommy Burns, who called him a tribute to himself, his family and his profession.
I think it's nice if you can leave clubs in good terms like that. We see it so often that there's a bit of acrimony when players are going away. But John Hughes did a very good job for Celtic. A lot of people thought he wasn't up to be playing at that level, but he proved that he could play at a higher level than most people assumed. And there are changes coming at Celtic Park. I think they're building for the future, and at 32 years of age, it's a good move for John Hughes to come to Hibs.
He knew that his appearances would be limited by the arrival of Alan Stubbs. It's a move to the club he's idolised, so a very emotional move for him too. McGinley, he had to get that right because Brown was just behind him. Found a little unhappy at the final ball played through there by John Henry.
Yeah, the intention was right. It was a very, very difficult ball he was trying, especially with the wind at his back, to try and volley it softly through there just for Brown to run onto, but at least he tried it. Wilkins dropped out of the game quite a lot, Rob, as the first half is wearing on. He's not been as influential as he was in the early part when he was making a lot of passes for them in there.
Yes, I think that always is going to be the question mark, his staying power. Ball played by MacPherson. Henry's cross headed away by Andy Millen. MacPherson feeding it back in. And the shot from Wright. He likes to have a go, doesn't he, Paul Wright?
He's got a very strong shot. He likes to get the ball very quickly into his feet. Not a lot of lift back when he shoots either, and he gets a lot of power in it, but in that occasion just snatched it a bit. You could see he was leaning back slightly as he tried it, but he's always willing to have a go, and he scores quite a high range of spectacular goals, Rob.
Half-time whistle goes, and both teams have made the best of poor conditions, a wicked wind and relentless rain. Kilmarnock have twice taken the lead, first through John Henry. Twice they've been pegged back, though, because Kevin Harper cancelled out Henry's efforts. Then, though, Kilmarnock established the lead again thanks to Jim McIntyre with a wonderful finish, only to see Andy Dow capitalise on some poor misjudged goalkeeping, and it's Kilmarnock 2, Hibernian 2.
Gordon Smith and first Rob Hawthorne.
We're settling down for an interesting second half. And Kilmarnock coming out to join a Hibs side that's already on the pitch, preparing for the second half. Well, they've been spectacularly entertained by the quality of the football and the number of goals. It was a sluggish start to the match, but certainly after the goal that Kilmarnock produced and the way it came about, with Paul Wright setting it up so beautifully for John Henry, things have been a lot more lively since Gordon Smith.
Yeah, I think this was an excellent finish to the game. We've certainly seen some quality, top quality goals here. Hibs will not be that happy with the way they played in the first half, but I think maybe the one thing that will be good for them is the fact that they weren't behind. They didn't go in behind, and that was the main thing from their point of view, because Kilmarnock with a better side, in my opinion.
Let's see if the change of ends in this second half. We'll also see a change in terms of the benefits and disadvantages of the conditions. Although the wind has been swirling, you can never quite judge which way it is going. East Hibernian, by scoring a couple of goals tonight, have taken their league goals tally into double figures. Before this evening, Jockey Scott's team had only managed 9 league goals. But Alex Totten, the Kilmarnock manager, will be somewhat concerned about the continued leaks springing in his defence. Although to keep harping on about Meldrum's error doesn't really do justice to the quality of Andy Dow's finish. It was still a precise shot. This is McKee. MacPherson. And now McKee. Aiming it towards McIntyre. And the first touch just let that one loose from him. It's been a good positive start to the second half by Kilmarnock. No let-up. Kerr winning the latest corner. Played short to Kerr. Harper with the eventual clearance. Millen taking the throw. Will return to his old stamping ground. Lay-off by Down. This is Miller. Number 11, McGinley. And this is Hughes. And Millen trying to play it long towards Miller and Harper, but it was too long for both of them.
It was a bit better football though, that Hibs were knocking it about there and trying to make passes, trying to create the openings, and then, you know, they still went for the long ball at the end of the day, that the defence splitting pass didn't come off.
Right. And the ball hit by Graham Donald against McIntyre.
I think Ray Wilkins would want to have more of an influence in the game than he's had. It was a, you know, through ball here, Wright's away, but, you know, defensively good defending there with Donald, got the cross here and just managed to block.
McGinley just adjusting his footwear. Jim Lately's goalkeeper wasn't prepared to wait any longer. Incurring the wrath of the home crowd for awarding the throw-in in Hibernian's favour. The policy of lowering admission prices has produced a good atmosphere here for Kilmarnock tonight. Millen. Sort of vocal support worth its weight in gold. Absolutely worth its weight in goals. That's what Kilmarnock need to gain only their second home league victory this season. They've beaten Wright here. It's Hibs on the attack with Harper. Jackson moving on ahead.
Decent effort. He knew what he wanted to do there. Harper, as soon as he picked it up, Jackson made the run across him just to make the space, taking defenders away, allowing him to cut inside onto his better foot, which is the right. And he was trying to curl it there. Meldrum always made it look as if he had the thing covered, but it was a good effort from little Harper.
MacPherson, good long ball. This is McKee. Wright, Brown and McIntyre all going into the box. And they'll be joined by a few more now.
Well, it's one of the few occasions when McKee has failed to deliver the crosses. He's put in some lovely balls tonight, but on that occasion hit the first defender, but as a corner.
It's whipped in by Kerr. McIntyre got the flick on. And Paul Wright just couldn't fasten onto it.
It's a bit of hit or miss with the set pieces there. It was taken short, then whipped in. But you see there, as soon as the wind catches it, it's away. Paul Wright thought, I think, at first it was going to bounce in front of him. All of a sudden, the swirling wind coming across just took it right across and out for the goal kick.
Donald. Millen. Donald again. Here's McIntyre. Nice build-up with Wright to deceive Hughes. Brown would have a lot of work to do, but he's held it up well. This is Wright. Good try! What a net bulger! What a goal!
That collection of goals we're building up tonight, absolutely fantastic goal, and it all started very deep when Kilmarnock won the ball when Hibs won the attack. But as soon as that ball was played diagonally, Brown did well just to hold it up, and Wright, look at that finish here, 25-30 yards. We mentioned before about the power he's got. His shot didn't need much lift back there, but he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And I mean, you'll hardly see a better goal anywhere than that. Jim Leighton, even a goalkeeper in his class, no chance whatsoever.
He'd been threatening to do it all night, and now it has come right for Paul Wright. What a magnificent finish.
Thing is, though, can Killie hold that lead? We've seen it go twice already. Hibs broke back quickly, and you know, I'm certain Alec Totten's not too confident in that dugout, standing there at the moment, about his side's ability to hold on to it. But I mean, that's 3 fantastic goals. If they don't win this game in this sort of position, you know, really he has to look again at his lineup. I know he's short of players tonight, but they've been let down already by the defence on a couple of occasions. The Hibs will keep going. The thing about them is that the Hibs that have got the quality players up front, they're always going to be dangerous, even from what would appear to be no possible scoring situation at all. They've got options.
Oh, that's an effort from Andy Dow, it's Willie Miller, in fact, who is trying to repeat what Dow did in the first half with a precise finish, but that one whipped away from goal.
Yeah, as I said before, it's very worth a try from that sort of distance. We've seen some fantastic goals tonight. I'm sure if any of the players must think to themselves it's worth a pop because they're going in. But Wright's goal, that was a stunning finish from him, absolutely top drawer, and you know, he hasn't scored an awful lot of goals this season. He is playing in a struggling side, but as I mentioned before, Rob, he's got a very, very high percentage of top quality goals out of the goals he scores.
Well, they can't complain about the service they've had from the strikers tonight, Kilmarnock. Look at this for a goal, worth looking at again.
Yeah, well, it was about the build-up too. It was a super build-up, but that is a fantastic strike. Well away from Jim Leighton. Jim Leighton's in exactly the right position. He should be maybe 6-7 yards off his line, but he'd no chance.
Right, again doing damage to his former club. With a couple of goals, he knocked them out of the Scottish Cup last January at Easter Road. McIntyre seemed to be held there by Hughes. Wright looking to do it again. Was blocked off by Miller that time, didn't get such a clean sight of goal. What's Jockey Scott going to do to turn around the situation? It's an important match for him. He hasn't really got long to prove himself. You can see his side are making a decent battle of it in attacking terms. Dead level, in fact, in everything except goals. Hibs desperate for something to lift them. Their cause recently hasn't been helped by the fact of their Edinburgh rivals' Hearts getting to the Coca-Cola Cup final. Hibs were knocked out by their opponents at Celtic Park, Rangers.
Thing is, though, Hibs are above their rivals at the moment by a couple of points, and they'd obviously like to stay there.
Well, a reverse for handball then against Donald, but the referee unimpressed as McIntyre whips it in, looking for Brown. Oh, it's gone in off McGinley. It's an own goal by Pat McGinley. Leighton beaten by his own player.
Yeah, it was a decent cross in the box, it's got to be said, but Jim Leighton caught no man's land there as the cross came in. McIntyre just turns it on into the box there, and Jim Leighton's come, he's got himself stuck. McGinley's gone up off the top of his head, and we'll have to probably have a bad goal at some stage, but finally Kilmarnock get another goal and get a 2-goal lead, and you know, you're a bit more confident in holding that. Hibs need to do a bit more in this game. They've dropped out the match, they're now a couple of goals down, and you know, to be fair, they haven't deserved any better than that in the football. I know they've had the same number of attempts practically as Kilmarnock, but they've not got those attempts out of the football they've been playing.
Well, that's more of a cushion for Kilmarnock now. And although the incentive is there for Hibernian, the task is an exceptionally difficult one for them to overhaul this now. Maybe they could make something of the free kick, curled in by Wilkins. The unfortunate record for McGinley is that it's his second own goal of the season. He also put one in the net with his head against his old club Celtic.
He did, and I saw that goal, and it was a spectacular effort, actually. It was as good as any forward could have done. But that one there was a bit unlucky. I mean, he's jumped and it just underneath, and it's come off the side of his head. But if you remember his last goal, Rob, the other own goal he scored, he actually jumped at the back post and fired it. It looked as if he meant it, but I'm certain he didn't. But Pat McGinley's a player who's developed into a defensive player, and as the ball's just nipped in from McIntyre, he's trying to clear it, he's trying to win the header, and he gets underneath it. Maybe times he's jumped slightly out because it looked as if he was on his way back down when he made contact with the ball.
Hibernian deciding that the time is right to make a change.
Yeah, Milne's going off, and I think it's McIntyre is coming on. Gives him a bit of width as well. McAllister, I should say. McAllister's a very nippy player. Can pick the ball up and run away with it, and that will give it Hibs another option there. Milne is more sort of a defensive type midfield player, a sitting player, and they've already got two similar players in Wilkins and Dow.
McAllister, a very experienced player. The 34 next Friday. But will he provide the answers that Hibernian are looking for here? McKee. This is MacPherson. Findlay.
Had a good match, McKee, on that right side, whether he's come in off the wing or he's gone down the wide side, get the crosses in. He's been very effective, made very, very few mistakes.
Sort of job that McKee's done for Kilmarnock that presumably they'll be hoping McAllister does for Hibernian. Now, he's just been involved in something of a tangle with Dylan Kerr, which the referee clearly saw. I wonder if he'll take further action against him once play stops. Referee did see it a bit early after he's come on for him to start getting frustrated. But now that the ball is out, Willie Young is calling Dylan Kerr towards him, and he's the player who's been shown the yellow card for that little contretemps.
Yeah, I think they missed the fact that I think McAllister reacted a bit to it as well, Kevin McAllister, but he was being held back by Kerr as he went to make a burst forward. I think that's why the Kilmarnock fans are trying to draw the referee's attention to that.
There's McAllister. Turned across by Donald. Well, it stirred the crowd up that the fact that McAllister, in the way that he reacted as he did, wasn't also cautioned.
I think that the referee saw the incident, as you mentioned, Rob. I think that the initial foul was from Kerr, holding McAllister back as he went to take a return pass. I think McAllister did react to it and lash out a little bit, but I don't think he made contact with Kerr. But I think that's what the Kilmarnock fans saw, just that aspect of it.
Person with the clearance. Here's McKinley. Miller. Kilmarnock pulling everybody back, defending in great depth, to the extent that it was Wright tidying up then. Now Henry is straight offside.
Loves to get forward, John Henry. I mean, come on, they're playing with two basically in the centre of midfield, and sometimes they get problems because Henry is always on his way. As soon as things start to build, he gets beyond the strikers.
Hibs throwing everybody forward now. It's Donald down the left, calling for it. But it was giving him a lot of work to do. He's accomplished it though. Forward by Miller towards Jackson. Anderson sticking tight to him. Here's McKee. Hughes. And Jackson is away. The flag stayed down, did it? No, it was the backing in by Jackson on the defender that brought the referee's whistle.
Some referees wouldn't give that. I mean, he does have a little nudge on him. He did that in the first half and got away with it and was through. I don't think there's much of a foul there. It's just enough to put Anderson off, but the referee decided on that occasion that Jackson had made a foul.
Miller. And the header away by Montgomery. Down. Jackson. There's away from Wright. Left for Anderson. Good defending. Derek Anderson stood up well to the task. This is Brown. Henry. And Brown has turned up in a lot of space at the edge of the area. Have managed to reorganise themselves now, but McIntyre gets it across and it deflects into Leighton's path. Good burst on from MacPherson. It needed the right ball there to Tom Brown, and Darren Dodds was in the way of it. Established a two-goal lead for the first time in the game, but Kilmarnock's attitude is still a very positive one. McKee. Miller kept his eye on it. Here's Findlay. Brown pulling across and taking Hughes with him, and fouling John Hughes.
Difficult little player to play against Tom Brown. He gets his body in there and he holds the ball up well. It's had a very good game. None of the chances have actually fallen his way at all in this match, but he works really hard to create things for other people.
Yeah, I think it was actually his presence in the area that led to McGinley's own goal. He managed to squeeze his way between two defenders that helped to cause the confusion. Hoping that McIntyre could slice that one in, but no wonder Alex Todd was furious. It was a wasted opportunity.
Alex really shouldn't complain. The sort of quality of goals he's seen from his team tonight. McIntyre probably was deluding himself that everything that could be hit from that sort of range would go in. But I'm surprised that Wright wasn't round about that sort of free kick area as well, because he's normally very good from those sort of angles too.
Well, the Old Firm, normally the benchmark for all the teams in the Scottish League, and Kilmarnock have already lost 3-1 to Celtic and 4-1 to Rangers this season, but Hibs are actually the only team to beat Rangers in the league. Not much has gone right for them since. In fact, the only two clubs they've beaten at home this year are the top club and the bottom club, Wraith and Rangers. Well, the two victories have come away from home, but it doesn't look like they're going to get a fifth victory under their belts at the moment, unless they can produce some sort of monumental turnaround. Here's McAllister, on whom a lot of hopes were pinned after his coming onto the field. But that was a fairly tame cross for Meldrum to deal with.
I think he probably would have wanted a striker getting across the front of the keeper. That's all you really call for when you're crossing the ball in from very, very wide area. You're hoping that the last thing the keeper will just come and take an easy catch. You want one of your strikers in there putting him under pressure.
Well, by Montgomery, coming through the back of Darren Jackson. Is untypically giving possession away with a free kick, but Kerr gets clear. And then giving away the free kick.
One of the problems Hibs have had really is that although Jackson Harper are working really hard, there's not really a lot of support from the midfield. Ray Wilkins is the sitting type player, but Dow hasn't get forward enough. Millen, when he was on, didn't get forward enough to support Jackson Harper. They're more or less left to do it all on their own. Balls played long into their feet.
McKee, he's provided some quality service from that side tonight. He's picked out Wright. This is McIntyre. McKee coming in and headed away by Andy Dow. Henry giving chase. This is Findlay. And it was heavily weighted, and MacPherson unable to keep it in. Jackson. And away by Dodds. This is Montgomery. Meldrum, the goalkeeper, will be delighted as anyone with the turnaround. And he's played his part as well since the misjudgment that led to the goal. I mean, you think back now how crucial that save was from Darren Jackson towards the end of the first half. Henry looking to slip it through to McIntyre. Donald should have it covered. Made too much of it. This is McIntyre looking for support. He's got the support from Wright, and he just hesitated too long. Well, Donald will be mightily relieved that that didn't lead to anything. Eventually redeemed himself, but that was a really worrying time again for Hibs. As if they hadn't had enough before that.
Well, McIntyre could have put it really beyond Hibs. Bad mistake by young Graham Donald there. He really should have cleared these lines, but fell over at the crucial moment. But McIntyre dwelled on it far too much, gave him an opportunity to get back. I don't think it was a penalty. I think he just nudged the ball away before he made contact with the player. The conditions are still horrible though. I mean, it's never let up. It's still pouring with rain, swirling. It's been difficult for the players, and the surface is slippy at times and looks a little bit fluffy as well. The ball sometimes holds up. If it's hit hard, it skids off the surface. Not easy to deal with, but having said that, at times there's been some very, very good football play.
Donald. Findlay. This is Anderson. This play from McIntyre. Hit it straight into Brown's path, and it might still come to something. That was a good layoff from Wright. Brown pulling it back from McIntyre. He's ridden Wilkins' challenge. And that drop just too short for Dylan Kerr. Some neat build-up against from Kilmarnock. This is McAllister looking for Harper. He peeled away. Just MacPherson it was who stood up well to the cross. Kerr launching it. And although Dodds had missed, Miller was the insurance cover. All credit to the players for producing a match of such quality in the conditions, and all credit too to the supporters. 10,872 of them have braved the rain and the blustery wind to come and enjoy the fare on offer.
It's a very good crowd, and we also know, Rob, that somebody's going away home here very happy tonight as well. A half-time draw, a car, the prize for the winning number, and we saw some tremendous celebration scenes at half-time when a young gentleman went down and picked up a brand new car.
Yeah, it was worth his while coming, definitely. And if he's a Kilmarnock supporter, which I'm sure he was, then it would have been a doubly good night for him. Wonder what he values more, the win or the car. There's Brown. And we're just trying to poke it through, but Miller stuck to him like adhesive. McKinley feeding McAllister. Held in by Wilkins, but Anderson behind it. Quality of the service from this flank from Hibernian hasn't been half as effective as Kilmarnock have managed to provide in the form of McKee. Now going for another pot shot, but this time Meldrum was between the sticks.
Yeah, McAllister was a bit upset as well because he got himself into a really good position wide in order to be played in with Andy Dow, but Andy Dow thinking that the chance was onto a short. Same sort of position where McIntyre scored from in the first half, so I suppose he felt it was worth a go.
Now McIntyre through again, chance for the fifth! Well, they were already celebrating once it had left his boot, and they can't believe that it missed the target.
Well, I can't believe it either, the angle that we're at. It looked as if it was going in all the way. Superb little ball through to him, and he did everything right. He brought Jim Leighton out, he made him go down, he just waited till the right moment and then didn't deliver the precise finish. All he had to do was get it on target from there, and it was in the net, and it would have been a superb finish, but a bit of a bad mistake really from McIntyre. That really could have tied this game up.
They may yet, it's Brown this time, oh, off the post! That really rattled the goal frame from Tom Brown.
Excellent effort. Another good through ball there between defenders. A slip, obviously, as well by Dodds, but did really well, Brown. I mean, it was the tightest of angles. It was difficult to score from there, but he's got a lovely curl on it with his left foot. Almost beating Jim Leighton in near post.
Kilmarnock really running Hibs ragged now. At half-time, 2-2 was a fair reflection of the score, but Kilmarnock have raised their game in the second half and really have dominated. And with 14 minutes still left, you wouldn't bet against them adding a further crowning glory to an already emphatic scoreline. Not been a happy debut for John Hughes. Well, the flag was very late going up.
It was like an afterthought there, really. I mean, we're looking at it, he wasn't giving it, the ball was played long, and all of a sudden, when they were well beyond it, and Harper's looking along the line, sees no flag up, then decides to run, the linesman decided to give it. But McIntyre's finish there would have been an excellent goal, and it was a good little build-up, smashing little ball played through, in behind the defender, and you know, the lad knew exactly what he was doing there. He drew Jim Leighton, he let him go down, as I said, and just didn't deliver the sort of precision.
Henry! A bit further off target from John Henry.
He got himself in a good position again, but he was always falling over, snatching at it really. Not the sort of finish that he would have liked, but I think maybe he could have taken the ball on a bit and taken it further in there.
Wilkins. McKinley under pressure. Read by Anderson. Anderson's had a happier night so far, the way the score has gone, than his last appearance when he was sent off in the match against Motherwell. Kilmarnock, who started the season so well with victory at Hibernian, could kick-start their season now if they can hang on to this victory. They started the match 4 points above the bottom club rate, so clearly they'll open up a greater gap over them, and one behind Dundee United, the team just above them. So the men from Tannadice look set to be leapfrogged tonight. Alex Totten getting a little bit of the pressure lifted off him, although from his reactions at the moment you wouldn't know that.
I think he knows that his team are capable of losing a couple of goals as well as they are of scoring them, Rob, and he'll still be worried right to the last minute. What he's trying to do is keep his team going.
Well, Dylan Kerr's throw in, and that put Meldrum in a very awkward position.
Well, there's a clear example of why they do lose goals.
Almost like they wanted to provide an illustration of what you were just talking about. And it's Jackson who's curled this one in, and it's headed back to Harper. Lashed wide by Kevin Harper.
Now, Killie putting themselves in trouble again, but not quite clearing the lines. I think Harper would have liked to have done a lot better there. It was well wide. He didn't get the curl on it from the inside of his foot. He would have wished, but it was a decent opportunity too, because he timed to steady himself and pick his spot.
Again, if he got up to the initial header, would have been happy to cancel out the memory of his previous contribution, an own goal. They're involved in a bit of a confrontation now with MacPherson. Bumping and barging between the two of them. MacPherson giving away the free kick. And God's header doing no real harm to the Kilmarnock defence. Hibs all set to make another change.
Ian Cameron already coming on, taking off young Graham Donald. I think going with a more attacking outlet. I think Jockey Scott will realise that, you know, Kilmarnock's defensive frailties, as we've seen, that if he could get a goal back at this stage of the match and with the remaining minutes left, put Killie under a bit of pressure, there's every chance that Hibs could salvage something from this game. But they have to get themselves going soon, and they have to get a goal back very early in order to do that. But that's the reason why Alec Totten is you know, still looking a worried man at this stage.
There's McAllister. 5 Hibs players were waiting in the box, and it was Anderson who got to it first. Wilkins. Well, Montgomery came back and played them onside. McGinley! And he was well blocked by MacPherson. How dearly McGinley would love a goal.
A super job there. MacPherson's a great ball in from Ray Wilkins did very well to get the ball played in. Montgomery could only just head it against McGinley there, and the keeper was out quick.
And a penalty for a push on Hughes. Willie Young right on the spot to see it as the corner was floated in. John Hughes went down. The referee points to the spot, and suddenly a moment of opportunity for Hibs.
It's amazing how Kilmarnock get themselves into trouble. I think it was a handball more than anything else. I'm not so sure it was a push. It looked like a handball from Anderson.
Well, whatever, here is Darren Jackson's moment to provide a route back into this game for Hibernian. Anxious moments for the young goalkeeper. And it's saved! And now Meldrum has fully exorcised the ghosts of that first half goal he gave away. A great moment of glory. He was disconsolate in the first half after giving the goal away, but how he makes up for it.
It's a superb save. That's the corner. He's chosen a side and made it work for him, because the thing is, last penalty I saw from Jackson, it was near the corner. It was against Rangers, against Andy Gorham, and he put it away so well. Decided probably that the young keeper had seen that on television, changed his side. Meldrum read it brilliantly, and maybe he just saved the day for Kilmarnock, because as I'm talking about before, Rob, I'm certain if Hibs had got a goal at this stage of the game, they could probably have gone on and got a draw worse in this game, because they're putting Killie under pressure, and Killie are putting themselves under pressure.
The way the fortune seems to have tipped back in Kilmarnock's favour with that save, may well just be the shot in the arm that they needed to see them through the final 6 minutes of the game. It would have been a bit nail-biting for them had Jackson converted that penalty. So McAllister looking for a route through, dealt with by Anderson. And now Brown controlled it with his hand. Here's McIntyre. Well, he saw the goalkeeper off his line and decided to give late the long-range test. To try to attempt to catch the goalkeeper by surprise. Turned by McIntyre, but to Wilkins' benefit. Hughes. And the flag up against Harper and Darren Jackson, who really must be wondering what he has to do to beat this young goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was an excellent save, driven low into the post, but no, Meldrum, apart from that one mistake, he's had a decent game. He was caught out for the goal, but in the main, he's done nothing wrong, and he could have turned the game twice, really, Killie's way with the save he also made from Jackson late in the first half, when it could have gone 3-2 for Hibs.
Don't forget, more Nationwide League football coming up for you on Sunday on Sky Sports 3. Football League Live at 12 noon takes us to Blundell Park for Grimsby against Sheffield United. And then over on Sky Sports 1, Super Sunday at 3 o'clock, the big North East derby, Newcastle against Middlesbrough. And don't forget, tomorrow week, November the 9th, Mike Tyson against Evander Holyfield, one of 3 world heavyweight title fights on Sky Box Office. And for details on that special pay-per-view event, call 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Who switched to the right-hand side in the reorganisation since the departure of Donald. Kerr. And here is MacPherson. And there is clearance. Henry looking to control it. Looking to work her way through. Wilkins. There's McAllister. Here's Anderson. Talking about how fragile the Kilmarnock defence sometimes has shown itself to be, but they've held firm so far in this second half. There'll still be some tense moments. It's a defence that's been changed around a little since the start of the season. Wilkins giving away the free kick.
I think they always say it's a late challenge, but Ray got there as quickly as he could. I think that's the old legs surfing there, making the challenge. Had to be made, he didn't quite make it, but he went the best of friends. John Henry going off. They started the game for Killie with that marvellous goal. He's off. Reilly's coming on, who's more of a defensive type midfield player. I think Killie just want to shut up shop these last remaining minutes, give nothing away.
Reilly, a converted left-back who has more recently played in midfield. Oh, that's a missed kick by Miller, which has set Wright through. And Brown available if he can pick him out. Goes instead to McKee. And the header clear relieves the pressure. Brown trying to skip away from Hughes. Brown. Challenged by Hughes, giving away the free kick. And the man of the match for tonight is Kilmarnock's goalkeeper, Meldrum, who's recovered magnificently from that first half blow. Gordon Smith has named him the Bells man of the match. He saved a penalty, and he saved from Darren Jackson open play too, and those saves prove absolutely crucial at the end of a night which has seen Kilmarnock pick up only their third league victory of the season. Delight among the home supporters on a wet and windy night. A side twice pegged back in the first half, stretched clear after the break and clinched this vital win to lift them out of the bottom two in the table. John Henry started the goal feast. Paul Wright perhaps produced the goal of the night in the second half. Henry's goal initially cancelled out by Harper, then McIntyre's by Andy Dow in the sluggish defensive setup that pulled Hibs back into the game. But Meldrum atoned with that save, vital save from Darren Jackson towards the end of the first half, and then with a penalty save from the same player in the second period. In the end, it was goals from Wright and an own goal from Pat McGinley that sewed it up. What have you made of it, Gordon?
There was a lot of good performances from Kilmarnock players there, and excellent goals and thoroughly entertaining match considering the conditions. But I felt that young Colin Meldrum, as you mentioned, Rob, came back really well from losing that goal, and he came back with two vital saves that turned the game Kilmarnock's way.
Well, it's been a tremendous audience for Kilmarnock, and though we'll hope that the performance here has been the best advertisement for them possible, and that a lot of these people will come back on a more regular basis, particularly as they're playing at home in their next game as well. Well, two of their heroes, Paul Wright and Colin Meldrum, are with our reporter David Probert.
Paul, after a run of just one win in your last 10 matches, where did you find that performance tonight?
I think the boys just stuck away to it, and I don't know where it came from, the inspiration, but I think we played some great football, and we're just happy with the result at the end of the game.
Clearly difficult times over the last few weeks. What do you think that'll do for the morale in the dressing room now?
Oh, I think he'll pick us up a bit. We know we're a good side, and a result for tonight's game, the confidence can only grow.
I think we can show you what is a very special goal. Jim McIntyre scored a peach in the first half, Paul, but this might just edge him out.
Oh well, I just seen the knockdown, I just raced onto it. One thought in my mind, just have a dig, keep it to the target, and I was lucky enough it went in the top corner.
A bit sweeter coming against one of your old clubs?
Oh, they're all sweet. Doesn't matter who you score against as long as they go in.
Colin, while this man was doing the business at the other end, you were certainly playing your part, and a great penalty save when it really counted. Did you make up your mind late to go down to your right?
Yeah, well, I'd seen Dan take a penalty against Andy Gorham the week before, so he put it to his right hand side, so I just took a wee chance and they come off for me.
Yeah. Crucial moment, Colin, and it's one that obviously might just get you an extended run in the side.
Well, let's hope so, yeah. Just need to wait and see.
It's been a good night for you, a win bonus, you're man of the match, and you get a bottle of champagne for that as well. Well done.
Thanks so much. Thanks. Cheers.
Well done, the young Meldrum, and well done to Kilmarnock.